Hello YouTube, this is Kai from Kai Labs, and today we're talking about the Loop.Engine, which is a brand new plugin from WA Productions, and it is a massive upgrade to the last version, which is the Chords Notes plugin from the same company. And everything that annoyed me in the last version is now not there anymore, so it's a much improved version. And what is really sensational is that you can have something like MIDI routing inside from Ableton Live. You have up to 9 different channels here, and you can all of them you can route to your virtual instruments. That is absolutely fantastic for every Ableton Live user, and I will show you how it's done, and then I show you also the instrument itself, and at the end I will also show you how you route this plugin in Reaper, because it's very much different to the approach you have to choose in Ableton Live. Okay, let's start. Let's talk about the setup. Loop.Engine consists of 2 VSTs. One is the Loop.Engine, that is the interface, and then you see there is a listener Loop.Engine. And that's actually very interesting, because this listener Loop.Engine will help us to overcome the MIDI routing restrictions inside of Ableton Live. First of all, we drag and drop the Loop.Engine into a MIDI track. Here we have our graphical interface. We won't need it at the moment, so I just switch it off. And now is the question, where do we put the listener Loop.Engine? So we could put it here in a second MIDI track, but that is a very wasteful thing, because as you see, I only have Ableton Live Lite, and that means only 8 tracks maximum. So that would restrict my options here very much. And there's another functionality inside of Ableton Live that we can use, and that is if we right click on this one here, on the pane here, then we see we can form a group. And now we have an instrument rack. And you see the first instrument is the Loop.Engine. And now we can also drop other listener engines here inside. It's really easy. So maybe it's a good idea to number them. Rename. And you will see why in a moment. Okay. Now we have the Loop.Engine and 3 listener Loop.Engines, and that might be a lot already, because we can route the MIDI of the Loop.Engine to one instrument already. So that's what we are going to do. First of all, delete this one and this one. And now we can use one of our instruments on this track. And since this will be the progression, I use a pad. Okay, now we have our visual interface again. And now we can work with that. So first of all, we do the MIDI routing. First of all, instrument rec, and then the Loop.Engine here. And don't forget to mark in. And now well, this is not astonishing, that was to be expected, but the next one will be more interesting. So we duplicate our track here, and instead of the Loop.Engine, we use the first listener Loop.Engine here. And we also change the instrument. For example, this one, a piano. And as you see, I activated the first channel already. And now we can have something nice here. For example, this one. So what we experience here now is the following. We route the progression output to this instrument here, and we route the first channel that goes over this listener Loop.Engine to this instrument. And we can just go further. And we take the second listener Loop.Engine and activate it and find something new, which is interesting. And now it's getting really interesting. We duplicate the next one. And now we need some xylophone like instrument. So, and we have to change the listener Loop.Engine. So, and as you see, the third channel is not active yet. We can do it now. And that's how it works, the MIDI routing in Ableton Live. And as you can see, you can route not only 8 channels as said in the WA production marketing for the Loop.Engine, but 9 channels, because it's one progression plus 9 different channels that you can address. Which is quite a lot. Maybe too much. I don't know. You are the judge of that. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the tool itself. What we have here is a progression builder in the first place. So you can just create progressions or can use those in those presets, and you can alter them later. You see there are 2-bar, 4-bar and 8-bar progressions, and some of them are really nice. And as you can see, there are colored bars, and you can switch them on and off, for example, like that. What you do here in the progression won't reflect in the sequences you build here. So you can do these separately if you want to. For example, like that. And that means you can really build very ingenious patterns. And it still sounds good. Okay, let's talk about other controls inside here. This length says how many bars this tool will generate in one turn. So for example, if you just say, okay, we do a length of 2, then you will experience only those first 2 chords of the progression. And then it just repeats. So, and the speed just tells the tool how fast it should go through the progressions. So for example, if you have a length of 8 for 8 chords, but you just go quicker through it, it means it plays 2 chords and all the sequences in 1 bar. If you go the other direction, it will stretch this 1 chord with the sequence to, for example, 2 bars. And since you only play 8 bars, the progression will stop at the half of it and repeat itself. So, and you also have this octave thing that you can transpose your music 1 octave up or 2 octaves up or the other way down. And here you can just enter the key, and it will change everything in your progression to match that key. On this pull-down menu, these are all the chord templates you can use. And then there's this Create button here. And this Create button changes every chord of the progression if it is not locked, like this one with the red point. And if I just so, all the other chords are now changed, but not the first three. It's randomized, but it must match the key and yeah, basically it should match to each other. For example, it won't change to major if you don't change it to major. And you can also edit every chord of the progression. For example, this one, as you see, it's E major. Now we are in a special menu, and as you see, you can't just enter the chord or so, but you do it while this small field here. T is the tonic, so the tonic is A, and as you see, these are all the chords that match to this tonic. Subdominant, that's D, and all the chords matching to the subdominant, and also the dominant, which is E, and all the chords matching to this. So there's also a differentiation between simple and advanced. If you go into advanced, you have more options for these chords. For example, tension and type. You can also change the inversion and the velocity. The velocity is very interesting because if you change the velocity here, it will affect all the sequences in the other channels. For example, see, that's it about the chords. How do I get all these different patterns like this into a preset? And that's here. Here you have different presets that you can choose from, but you can create your own. So as you can see, here is, for example, a five voice rising lanes preset. And as you see, this one is muted. The progression is muted. So, but you see, here is a different pattern, then here and here. Here's also one. Here's one. And it's the 5 voice rising lanes. That means the other voices are just basic. And that's the basic pattern. These presets also contain a progression, but you don't see it reflected here, which is a little bit irritating, because the 8-bar Sarabandi sounds definitely different and looks definitely differently than this of the 5 voice sing along. So this might be kind of a bug, but you shouldn't mind. It's not a big problem, I think. If you choose drag to export, you will export the progression, and if you choose a sequence, you can also drag to export, and then you will get the sequence. Is there anything else to say? In Reaper, you start with your Loop.Engine plugin. There you have it. And then you insert your first instrument. And you can duplicate that very quickly. The first one is the pads, and we can route that immediately, so that if we just start, so, and now we have to make something really Reaper-like, because you can just open this FX window and add the listener BST. The only thing that you have to do is to change the order. Now you should be able to listen. Works fine. And now you can just duplicate what you already did and change, first of all, the channel and the instrument. It goes really quickly. And we duplicate this one too. Change it to channel 3 and change the instrument. So you see, it's really easy. I hope this was helpful for you, even for the decision if you want to buy this plugin. At the moment, if you go to this to WA Productions website, you see the Loop.Engine is here and there's a sale, 70% off, and it costs around $30. Or if it's an upgrade, if you own the Chords Notes version, then you only have to pay $15. So I think, yeah, you are the judge if it is worth. I think it's impressive what they did, and it's really worth taking a look. You can test it and find out if this is a good thing for you or not. Have fun with all my other videos. Bye bye.